This time, we will be doing Be Smooth's championship course at Palmwood Islands. As always, when I'm playing these, I'm not trying to set the record on the course or anything, so this isn't really about my play. It's more about looking at the course and seeing how it plays. You're welcome to make fun of my play if you want to. Doesn't affect me, but I always try to get that out there because people sometimes, I think, expect me to come on here and play like a PGA guy. I'm not, and I don't even play like I usually do if I'm playing tours or something else. That being said, my critiques and such, most of what I say is completely aesthetic, just my opinion. Things that are technical issues, I will point out and clarify them to be technical issues, and that be that. Since Beeston was here and we still have this going on, and I see Rhino talking, and my apologies to Rhino and Clint if you guys took me as being snippy on that. I wasn't trying to be snippy. I was trying to point something out, and you guys just touched on it, is that there is such thing as hard for the sake of being hard. That 18th hole on that last course was hard for the sake of being hard. That was manufactured difficulty. And, you know, I'm not Dale. I don't look at courses for the PGA. I don't try to figure things out or not. I just look at it strictly from a design perspective and let me put it this way. It's a 472-yard hole. So you're already going to hit a long iron into it. That's difficulty level number one. You don't have the same control with it. Okay, so now then, you've given me a really tight landing area. Everywhere is a tight landing area. Okay, difficulty section number two, but even if I hit that tight landing area in a 12-mile-an-hour crosswind, well, then I've got a tree blocking the way from where you want me to hit the ball. That was my point on it. So if he actually doesn't want you to hit there, then put your waypoint in the 3-wood range anyway, or shorten the hole, or do something. But I mean, it's just manufactured difficulty to try to make the course play really tough on the last hole. That is what I mean by manufactured difficulty, and this is something you guys are going to run into in the judging. We got all sorts of different level of players playing this. So if they look at that the same way I do, then it's going to kind of count against you on a course, you know? There's just different tricks. You can still make that whole play tough. You can still use a lot of those same elements that Pablo put in on that one, but it could have been executed a lot cleaner than what it was right there. That hole basically flipped me the bird, you know, gave me the giant middle finger, regardless of what I did off the tee box. So that on that one from a design perspective, it could have been the concept could have been realized a little bit different way. I mean, we didn't put difficulty standards on these holes or on these courses, so it's not like somebody's trying to design for CC or anything else. But even for what I would consider to be a PGA hole, that was a little bit gimmicky. You can give small landing areas, and that in and of itself, that doesn't bother me. But don't block me with the damn tree if I do. I mean, that was my thing. So, but there's lots of little different tricks that, you know, veteran designers can use. I don't want to go in and show off my courses. Anyway, there's lots of different tricks and things you can do, and you'll see them on different courses, and I'll try to point them out, good examples, so you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. But so it's not going to show up that way. So this is going to be one of those that I'm going to have to work to actually get into. Championship course at Palmwood Islands. There we go. Oh, you guys aren't going to make me mad and quit. I may get pissy here and there, but it's pretty hard to make me quit. Tell you what, I've never seen that one, but that Bayonet 2012 PGA Championship Black Tees Distance, if that's Bayonet Black course, I need to check that out because that is a cool real-life course that would actually be really hard to pull off as an RCR. But if somebody did it, that'd be pretty cool. But no, I'm not gonna lie, guy. Over the course, or guys, over the course of 31 courses, I might get a little bit testy here and there. It begins to wear you down a little bit. So on my friends, Pablo shot a -1. So this is a first time course. So course record on PS4 right now is -5. No, you're fine, Clint. It actually wasn't. It was going on before that. It's nothing against you, man. Um, I overreacted, and I apologize for that. I just kind of started talking. I was trying to explain myself, and I felt like I kept on having to backtrack and explain why I was saying what I was saying. So, I mean, in a vacuum with a 0 mile an hour wind, I probably wouldn't have nearly an issue with it. But so, well, I'm a little bit worried about the difficulty on this one with -5 being the course record. So. So we were off to the Palmwood. So, with this being your first course, I will point a couple of things out to you pretty straight away. And these have nothing to do with the judging. This has nothing to do with it being right or wrong. These are just little tricks. This little cut of light rough you have going through the middle, if you do not want that scalloped edge right there, and that's what we call that, a scalloped edge, that comes from laying the heavy rough right up against the light rough. If you want that to be a clean straight line, when you lay down a patch of light rough, a little bit of heavy rough off to the side of it. So what you would actually want to do is come in with your heavy rough, and instead of putting it right up against that, open up your tools, select the circle brush, make it not crazy large, but don't make it all the way small either. And you'll find the happy place against it, and you can run that circle brush all the way down the edge of that, right where the manufactured heavy rough begins, if you follow me, and put it up against that, and it'll keep you a nice even straight line all the way down through there. So it'll actually look like somebody just came through with the mower and got it. But so it looks like you went tropical. Looks like number 7 texture on the greens, and either 7 or 6. That's probably number 7, but number 7 texture on your fairways. It's not a problem, man. It's just one of those things that everybody kind of goes through. Some people don't care about it. Some people do. I don't really care about it. Um, and you can do the same thing like over here where you've done your light rough against your fairway right here. Well, that's what that is. You just come around with that circle brush and just stay on the outside edge of the manufactured heavy rough, and then bang. And you looks like you've done a pretty good job of it on a lot of parts around here, because there's usually areas like right there will show that. But that's what that's from. I've never had a problem with it on any theme. I mean, I've used it on pretty much every course I've designed and had no issue with it. And then I did a quick video for Rhino on cart paths that has retaining walls at the end of it. You should give it a watch, because you can make your retaining wall look pretty clean. One of the things you did, like right here, what would have looked better, not that this is bad, but to circle this out, and to do that, you have to go down to the smallest section of retaining wall and take your time with it, and then you can just piece it all the way around, and you get nice looking curves. And like I said, I'll usually go 3 layers deep on my retaining wall. That way I can actually bring this land out flush up against it, so you don't have this autogen look match to it. And then I will drop my water deep out here, and I can lower my water underneath to where I don't have any dirt showing up against my retaining wall on this side. So it's just a nice clean look. I'll have to go in and try to give the link then. It is actually still on the TGCT live page. I'm sure it's still on that page. If not, then I'll go in and get it uploaded to YouTube and flash it in there. Every once in a while, Twitch doesn't work on that. But check out your green right here. One thing I always try to do, whether I'm critiquing a course or whether I'm looking at my own, I like stepping away from the greens and looking at them without the green grids and my designer. I can't do that on these courses, but I like to get the look of a green with the way it is in the light and everything else. That sloping actually works right there. It's a shorter hole, so I don't have a problem with it. It's not up against the pin. And you've actually given people some different ways to play the hole. I'm not really sure you want to come in on this ledge, because if you hit a ball off that, it's going to bounce way over to the left. But you definitely giving people a chance. They can conceivably play into this side. If there's like a good strong side wind or something, that they can play into that bank and let it roll down. Let's see, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good size green. You can get 4 pins on it. I'd be a little bit cleaner. I don't mind people that use the light rough to frame their bunkers. That's not bad at all. But go ahead and stretch that out. Don't try to hug your lip on the backside as much as you have right there. Go ahead and give it just like one big circle shape around here. Let it dip and circle behind it, and it'll look a lot cleaner. It'll look a lot cleaner. But all in all, it's not bad. And I kind of like what you've done, because you've used, instead of using cart pads, you've used the light rough to kind of frame it out. So it's pretty interesting. It's not bad for a first try there, brother. Okay, let me get back into play mode here. Well, I'm still kind of checking out. So your bunker sculpting isn't horrible. There's certain areas you've done really well on it, and certain areas where it got away from you a little bit. This is stuff that's only going to come with experience in the designer, man. This is just a practice thing. Your transition right here, if you wanted to keep that depth and you actually wanted to make this area higher than that area, that's perfectly fine. But come in with the soft round fuzzy brush and go into flatten, raise it up to 1 foot even, and start right here. Hold it down, or hold down the X button while you're doing it. Stop it here, hold down the X button again and drag it. Hold it down, click it, and keep on clicking around until you get down here in this area. And that will make it a really nice gradient coming down there. And do the same thing, pulling back up into the back of this bunker. And it'll give you a nice flow to it, instead of it looking like it just stops all of a sudden right there, like a cliff. And then I'd probably bring my flattening out just a little bit more out to this side, more of a slope, to where it's actually just a nice soft pan in the bottom, and you've got your sloped edges coming in, if that makes sense. Lighting wise, I think this would have benefited from being a little bit darker, whether you take it early morning or late afternoon, to be honest. And in tropical with these pine trees, I would have taken it maybe not late afternoon, like real dark or anything, but give it just a little bit more to make your shadows pop, and not so bright. It looks like you've messed with it a little bit, because it doesn't look like it's straight up noon, but it doesn't look like it's far from it. You may not have messed with it at all, but it could just be the orientation, everything of it. But giving it some softer lighting would have made all this pop. Makes that bunker, which that is, looks like that is bunker texture number 13. So when you mess with the lighting a little bit, it takes on more of a pink glow to it. So, but that's just an aesthetic thing. That's just a personal thing. That's nothing wrong with what you did there. So 137. Tell you what, we'll just take this on at 145 and see what happens. 173, so a little bit on the faster side, which means I better putt way different than I did the last matchup. However, I do need to hit it hard enough to get the ball there. I'm stupid. Yeah, you've got a lot of good things going on here for a first course, that's for sure. So it looks like this could be an interesting hole. Nice shape to your bunkers on that. I like how you. This is actually what I was talking about on the last course, and Be Smooth has actually done pretty well on it, and that's making the bunkers fit the contour. Could have been a little bit better right here on this corner, but that is very nitpicky. So, all in all, you did a very good job of making making the contours fit each other. Interesting shapes. That's a stock bunker right there, but we can live with them here and there. Something I would have done a little bit different right here is not give that little curly Q ending on it right there. This is completely aesthetic. This is just me as the designer, not, doesn't have anything to do with the contest or anything else from a look standpoint. If you had widened this out, come off this right here with a little bit of a corner, and then bowl that out, it'd look a little bit more natural. That's a pretty unplayable area right there. So, but all in all, you did pretty well with your curves and putting your brushes together as well. A few things here and there I would have done a little bit. Okay, so ball's going to be up above my feet, so I'm going majorly left. So this works pretty well, actually. You'd be a little bit smoother on your contouring right here. I like the idea of having a bunker there. You've actually got it sculpted to where it's manageable, where if you hit into it, you just have to scoop it out. But be careful on your hill right here. You can flatten that out and make it fit just a little bit better. But no biggie on that one. Same thing right here. I like your hill, but start your hill down here and make it climb that, and then make it come down. Just make it a little bit smoother. And then same thing as you're dropping your elevation, just smooth that out and let it flow. That ball's going major left. I actually like the idea of the hill right there. This needs to be a little bit smoother. Nice ideas on the bunkers right here. I actually like the way these play into the hole. That's a pretty neat little look right there, man. Well done. I'll tell you what. With this shot, we're going to let it go a little bit long and come back. Whoa, it didn't come back. Okay. Even though there's a hill right there, and that's crazy. Well, Be careful about people that start trying to suggest that you have to use a flat piece of land, because it's actually not easier to use a flat piece of land than it is to use an auto contoured. If you're going to do an RCR, absolutely, you want a perfectly flat plot. But sometimes it can be beneficial to actually have the auto contours, set your hills you want to, and then manipulate your terrain off of that to get your look, so you don't have to do so much outside of that. But while it might be helpful to control your fairways and everything, I agree with that. When you start dealing with your out of playable area look, it can be shitty. I mean, even on a lot of my courses, even on a lot of my RCRs, to be honest. I mean, most RCRs I start flat, but there are some that I will set the hills to either low, medium, or high, depending on the landscape of what I'm working with, and then I'll manipulate based on that. It saves me a lot of time, but I've only done that on 2 out of like 7 of them that I've got. On most of them, I start from flat 10, or excuse me, perfectly flat plot, 10 feet above the water table. That's usually where I go at it. So we got 187, and this is a par 3. Whew. Got moving. I like the shape. It's a very interesting shape you've got going there. I think it looks pretty cool as a green. It's pretty tight for a par 3. So you got your 1 pin area right there at 197. Even at that elevation, this is almost a dead area for pinning. I mean, once again, Rhino will make the argument for PGA they can pin up there. Well, yeah, they'll still be pissed off about it, but so you got a pinnable area there. You could technically put one here, and you could put one here, so your green might be just a little bit small, but okay. And that is why they would have a problem with the front pin issue. Yeah, this one's for this length, the hole be smooth. This is probably just a little bit too tight of a green. Bring this front part out, a little bit more. It works a little bit better, and probably had you made the back part of this just a little bit bigger, it would have worked a lot better. But coming in at that length, even if I land the ball right here, on that spot, I mean, I'm kind of doomed. I'm still going to end up back here somewhere. I mean, I don't mind making people play for par, but that's just a really tight spot for that length of hole. So that's running down. Ah. I know what they schedule. I wasn't picking on you, man. I was just saying that Ryan will bring up the PGA thing, but golly, this is for par too. Crap. Still missed low. Well, it could still work. You just need the green to be bigger. That's where that comes into play as well, because then the chances of miss hits are smaller. I mean, that's just so tight. Green was just a little bit too small. So another nice, interesting looking hole on this one. I mean, you've actually done pretty well with your brushes as far as getting your fairway brushes and all that, laid down. You've done a very good job of picking your brushes. So just a little bit of contouring, man. A little bit of contouring. Okay, so that's not going to work. You're going to have a hard time sculpting those just because they're so tight. So that's a pretty thin bunker to do any kind of sculpting on it. So it's a good look as far as the shape of the bunkers, but I would probably make them just a little bit larger so you can make them a bit more dynamic. So, but for your first go at bunkers and sculpting, I wouldn't complain about it at all. But there's some areas where you can clean some things up here and there, but nothing major. Nothing that makes me go ew. Well, that backfired. I thought with that wind and everything, I was going to get the top of that hump and it was going to roll down. So that's not really what happened there. A little bit too much loft on my part. Yeah. I thought my ball was going to like land right in here, and I was going to catch it and be able to let it trickle and end up somewhere down in this area, and that is not what happened. Wow, goodness, this is going to suck. Um, Same thing for a shot of this length. You've green's probably a little bit too small. Contouring's probably off just a smidge. It works great for just this one hole, but if you're going to pin it, I mean, you've got one legitimate pin right there. You could have one pin over here that's still going to be pretty compromised because of the contouring right there. Um, with a little bit of work, you can get one right in here, but you can't actually put a pin right there from course guidelines. I mean, you're going to be hard served to catch 4 different pins on it. So that's just something to keep in mind on future projects. Is a good rule of thumb. And I mean, obviously, you don't have to stick necessarily to this, but an average green is going to be 30 deep and 20 wide. And you can make you can kind of alternate off of that. With that size green, you can put just about any shot on those dimensions. Now, a lot of mines, I may go 27 deep and 16 wide on one of them. I may go 34 and um, 18. I may do a 30 by 20. It may be round or whatever, but that's just a guideline. Where in the hell is that waypoint trying to take me on that? So, man. I can't go too far left because if I go too far left, then I'm going to end up sliding off to the left. So that's going to leave me left the hole regardless. Yep. Oh well. Now, you're going to see that in a lot of these streams. You're going to have other guys that are going to have greens that they work great for just a one one setup, you know, for like this look. But if you're looking to ever have anything played on tour, you have to keep in mind areas that can be pinned, and they need to match the shot. So, I mean, a 190-yard shot, you really don't want to like really pinch your green. Yeah, some will, some won't, but I guess part of that's going to be a matter of opinion. When we put something on tour, we try to have 4 very unique, different pin slots. So, just saying. I would on something like this, and this is just more, you know, being new. This isn't anything that would count against you in the contest or anything else, but just a finishing or refinement thing. Make your terrain right here go to the top of your step. Bring the level down a little bit initially, and then use that soft round fuzzy, and just keep tinkering with it a little bit and a little bit. And what you'll eventually do is just get that raised so it just doesn't like stick out like a block. But well, I can tell you this, Ren. If you submit a course, whether it be CC, Web, PGA, or Euro, and you've got the same hole with the same 4 pins all 4 days on multiple holes, it's not going to be used. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's a fun little drive right there. Goodness. Well, I thought I did when I came across. I saw the slope on it, which is why I went that way with the wind instead of like playing it back here. I wanted to like bring it in here and kind of let it feed down. I mean, it's a nice look to it. I actually no, I looked at it even with the wind. That's the only reason I went to that side of it because I had that tailwind. I knew I could carry it and get it over in there. But I actually like that contour right there. Make that a little bit smoother. I like the hill. Just smooth it out a little bit. Make it feed that area down in that hollow a little bit. And then over here on this side, God, I hate sometimes trying to move around. Just make this a straight up hill and let that hill be your feed and let that run around it. And that is sharp looking, but some very cool ideas. I do like that. Yeah, for a first course, it's pretty solid. So I'm at 100 with an 8-mile-an-hour wind. So 478. Yeah, so far the way the actual course is playing, I'm absolutely fine with. Like I said, green's a little bit bigger just to accommodate the shots, but you know, like, this one works for me. This is a good size. So for this length, a 472-yard hole, you're looking at 180 plus, you know, on your second shot, depending on tailwind and all that. So you've given enough room on that green to accommodate 4 pins. So it's going to be a lot longer than 180 on this one. 11-mile-an-hour wind back in my face. So we play up into here. Yeah, that's just a nice look to a hole. Come on, controller, pull back. Damn it. Nah, I don't get roll off rage and stuff like that, man. I just take it for what it is. So I'm kind of seeing where you're going right here. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're thinking about using this as a pin area, this doesn't work on this shot or on this particular hole. It's just too narrow. You'd have a very, very, very hard time landing it anywhere in there and it not feeding off to the back. But yeah, Royce is right. Sometimes just 3 or 4 feet of movement is enough for a new pin. It just needs to play different. That's the biggest thing. But I have seen people submit them where they're like, try to keep the same pin in the same spot and all that, and that's not cool. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the entire green grid on that one because I'm pretty sure you got some red and yellow flowing through this sucker over here on the side too. So it'd be interesting. Okay, what have I got? I got 210 with an 8-mile-an-hour wind in my face. So that's gonna play closer at 220. Well, goodness. I didn't expect that. And I'm plugged. Hoorah. And I'm plugged. How do I want to play this? That's all I could do with it. I mean, I could have gone for a pitch out of it, which I probably should have, but to be honest, I don't know how I played from that spot either. I mean, M5 went into it, should have carried it on the green. I'm not sure why I came up that short, but it was only a 9-mile-an-hour wind playing at 210. So, I mean, oh well, no telling. Could have been a user error. So I'm at 166. So yeah, you can play different angles on this. Be careful on this right here. The drop off, having a drop off isn't bad, but make that transition a little bit smoother. only because you see where your green, where it comes off right there, and then you start getting the crimping around that. Keep this flatter up here at the top, and then start your drop off like over here. It'll still feed, believe me. It'll still roll down there and give people a crappy pitch or flop back up on there, but it'll just look a little bit cleaner. That's one way to avoid that crimping. This is where the big round fuzzy and getting a little bit more distance between your finger right here and your lip will make that a little bit smoother. But okay, I'm 6 miles an hour back in my face. Damn, I still carried it. I'm going to have to quit de-lofting on long irons. I misjudged them. I'm pretty good at it with pitching wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, but good Lord. Ugh. Okay, so we're actually going up a hill and then back down a hill. So this is a nasty putt. Yep. Yep. If you land front edge, it's tap in, I promise. Yeah, but you can't always guarantee landing the ball right in here on this side shot with your winds and everything. I mean, um, that's something where you absolutely have to go practice these in offline mode so you can test it for wind. Because if you play this in a vacuum, it's very different. Man, I bogeyed that one too. Here we go. That is a long, skiddy hole out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of reminds me of Punta Espada in Dominican Republic. Oh, no. I finally found something I'm going to gig you on here. So it looks like what you did here is you laid your fairway down and you came in with the bunker tool and you just went click, 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 click all the way down. That is not a good look, homeboy. It's always better to either put your bunkers down and make your fairways fit your bunkers, or put your fairway down and make your bunker fit. Don't clip your bunkers into your fairway. That is, by your more veteran designers, will absolutely be considered a technical flaw. It's just not a good look. And the same thing, you need something around that, whether it be light rough or heavy rough. They're just running your brush up into it, but that's a little bit rough there, Be Smooth. You've been pretty on point up till there, but I gotta spank you honey for that one. So 475. So we're in another long hole with the small green. Yeah, the way he's pulled the bunkers down to the water looks fine, and I mean this is a Greg Norman course designer thing that we're hopefully getting rid of in TGC2 because you'll be able to have adjustable water levels. So hopefully you'll be able to run your bunkers directly down into the water to give it like a beach look versus this. But there's no gig on that. That's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. If he's wanting to go for a look, the one personal recommendation I would say, the way that I personally would have done it to do these bunkers, is that I actually would have had my fairway elevated higher than my water level right there, and that way I would have had a significant contour on this lip going down. So you still would have had the flat beach look out here, but this would have been up about this, if I can get down to the level where I'm talking about that height. And then it would have been a really cool look coming off the tee. But that's just me personally. That's the way I would have done it. Nothing wrong with what you did. But it's just something that adds just a little bit more pop. Okay, when you 1 second, guys. No, she's gonna be taking time off because she's been working all the way through Christmas, so she's catching up. And then we're going to the Caribbean in end of January. So, but that's not till like the 20 something. So it'll be the very end of the month. So it won't be anytime soon. All right, sorry about that, guys. Looks ugly. It's long, roughened bits. That's right, it's sticking out for some. Yeah, that's just something you get with experience in the designer, brother. It really is. Um, okay, I'm gonna play this how I know I should not play it. How about that? Well, that's about as close as I figured I was gonna get it. These damn front-loaded putts where all my break is at the very beginning. So if I hit it on the line where I think it should go, I'll miss it to the right. Yep. Yeah, you can be a little bit cleaner on your sculpting on your greens, but once again, that's just something that's going to come with experience. You'll start getting a better feel for it and what brushes work which ways and kind of make it run. I wouldn't bitch at all about this for being a first course. It's actually really good for a first course. It really is. How am I brutal? Jimmy thinks I'm brutal. So this is what I was talking about on the other one. You see how your level is up higher over here, and how you get this more of a slope look coming off. That is what I was talking about. Now, the way to make this look even sharper is pull your brush even tighter up against this. You'll actually want to run your circle brush around here and just follow this line to where it looks like a dune. Not right up against it. Pull it out here, but you get just a nice effect, and it just flows right off your fairway from there. It's a really good look. So, but that's what I would have done on that other hole as well. I would have had my elevation on my fairway just a little higher than that in my bunker. Oh yeah, he's not even hearing me. So Jimmy gets a mouthful from me anyway. Ooh boy, it's a tight little landing area right here. So the real shot on this is to go down to 3 wood and let it feed down into here and play your second shot. I've got a feeling that hitting driver off the tee is a bad shot here. So oh, I don't talk about blades of grass being out of place. I've not even made comments about these little hodgepodge autogen plants just sticking out here and there. Look left for what? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm so caught up in like looking at what you had over there. I wasn't even like noticing that, but I'm fine with it either way. I'm gonna play it like the CCers. Woo! Holy crap! Well, this is gonna suck. Jeez, that ball didn't carry for shit. Yep, good size green. It works. The only thing bad, and this is something that I'm going to tell you as a scheduler, these red slopes you have going on, more times than not, you want to limit your combination of red and yellow to 3 grid blocks. The reason being is that if you have a pin up there at the top and it falls down here, you make it almost impossible to putt up. So be very careful how you're sloping. You could have gotten the exact same effect, an exact same look to your fairway by doing this a little bit different here. 3 grid blocks of slope, and then, kind of flat on either end of it. It'll take care of some pinning issues and just doesn't completely screw a player, if something happens, because you never know what the wind's going to happen and all that. But man, this is just all touch right here, isn't it? I feel like I got robbed. Uh, whew. Just on that 442. Be interesting to play this because that feels like a long carry, but I could be wrong. What the? Okay, I'm not sure about my feelings about the sand around the trees. I'm not quite sure about that yet. It's probably not anything as a judge that I'd be like, what? And like take points off, but it's something I would still give you shit about. So, because I'm not sure my feelings about it. Yeah, that's a little bit different. I feel like you're screwing with me on this hole right here. Um, well, yeah, that would help, and that's something that I would personally do on all my trees anyway. Is that even on this tree, I come around with my tool and just raise it up a little bit, hump it up, make it look more natural. That's most any tree, especially if it's right up against the fairway, give it like a natural look. But so if I hit this with a driver, there's a very good chance I'm going to be down there in the rough. If I hit this with a 3-wood, I'm probably still not going to like it. Oh well, let's see what happens. Oh, I screwed myself. I didn't hit straight. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, what in the hell am I doing? Yeah, but with the 10-mile-an-hour tailwind, it looked like driver over that bunker's edge wouldn't have stayed on the fairway. It may hold, but it sure didn't look like it from the tee. Yeah, slice 3-wood didn't help at all, but this is only aesthetic, but I'm not sure that I'm crazy about that fence around that one area. Oh, that's a small little green right there. Oh, goodness. Short hole, so I can live with that, but damn nation. Safety first. Some interesting ideas right there. You actually pulled that off pretty well. I'm not going to harp on your bunkers too much. So, like I said, you're like really in that first stage of learning how to sculpt, and I think you've done pretty good on your sculpting for the most part. There's just some of these that, regardless of what I tell you, it's just something you're gonna have to spend time with the designer, and this is like one of them, making that just a little bit smoother to fit your mound. And actually, just a personal idea, um, kind of off topic, but something I would have considered was actually using this shape and not building it into the mound, like making it all the same level up to the front and then mounding behind it and building a hill up behind it, and you still would have gotten that blocked look and that look you're going for, but it really would have made that bunker set into that hill. That would have looked really sharp, but flatter at the base. You actually want that level. This side is almost a little bit too deep. This side is a little bit too high. So where you really want is your entire bunker to be about that level. And then it will naturally come in. You'll have a nice little bowl right here, this side, bowl this side, and then you have an area that you can still run off into it up here, but it's just not so tragically deep when you get there. Crap, finally, nice to get a birdie for a change. Yeah, Hans, somebody's good. That his newest course is a good one to go look at. But I was just about to say, don't be afraid to use hills and stuff behind your bunkers like that to leave your front area right here more shallow, lower, and then a higher area in the back. It's really a good look. I mean, you've done some of it, in certain areas. It's just getting more used to it and doing it, and it even looks better when you make this area wider. Bring it out here, then bring it in, cut it back in, and you have like a hill like right here in the middle. Let it slope off and then come back around. It's a good look. But all in all, I mean, you've got a really nice layout here and a lot of really good ideas. So it's just simply, man, where your rough edges are. It's just simply it was your first course, and it's stuff you're going to get better at. So I'm excited to see what you come out with in the future. I don't know how this one's going to play. I might do that. Give me a minute. Damn. I knew I misjudged that. That was all on me right there. That was all on me. Yep, Heron's Reach. I'm sorry. I thought you guys knew that, or I would have said the name of it. We actually played on TGC Tours, or excuse me, TGC T After Dark a couple of weeks ago. Oh, what are you doing to me here, man? What am I missing? Okay. Good mercy. Oh well, let's hit it and see what happens. That was all on me right there. It still ended up better than it would have been if I'd hit it straight. Holy crap. That's one of the few times a crap shot actually saved my ass. Be a little bit smoother on your contouring right here on your fairway. So that's I mean, you can get some things that are similar to that style that you can pull off in link style courses, because I mean you do see things similar to that, but this looks like the flattening tool got away with you, or got away from you a little bit on this one. Make that a little bit smoother. Well, it doesn't look bad to my eye. I think the one thing about the palms, and he's probably heard this already, but varying your different palms, changing the heights of them here and there, just giving a different look to them goes a long way. There's parts of this that looks very redundant, but you know, once again, that's something that comes from time. You don't have the ability to turn trees. That would actually help quite a bit. You can do it with plants, and I always tell people, make sure you turn your plants, change your sizes if you're using the same plant. But the same thing with the palm. I know that there's only, what, 3 different variations of that particular palm that you're using right there, but the the one in the middle, yeah, I'm kind of referring to that as well. But I mean, I'm not sure about just sticking a palm tree in the middle of the sand, but it's not egregious. The only thing is that if it was placed in the bottom of the sand, it would be severely raised up around it. That's the way palms grow. It'd have a big mound of sand around it, but because their root systems are right at the top of right at the top. They do not go deep; they go wide. They're like little runners. But I mean, some of that I'm sure he's already aware of, and that's just, like I said, it's stuff that you just place on being a newer designer. So I do have a degree in biology, and when I first started going to school, I had a lot of botany because I was going for viticulture and enology to be a winemaker. But how I know about the palms, or the fact that I live in Florida and got 10 or 11 of them in my backyard. So when we go out there to plant stuff, then I'm always, oh, sorry, didn't give the flyby. I'm always having to deal with their damn root systems. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Well, I mean, I am sure of it. That's my nice way of saying that could have been executed a little bit differently. I know what you're going for on it, but that could have been a little bit better right there. It's a 591 yard par 5. Oh, I'd agree with that. I think for a first course, this is super. Yep. See how you've got this sloping going on that? Going back to, what was it, the eighth hole or the ninth one that we talked about, raising the level of your fairway? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just having that differential so that you can sculpt this down and still have a nice beachy area, but have something that just makes your fairway pop. And that's actually not horrible. Could have been a little bit crisper up here at the top to get rid of that crimping, and that's just the angle that you pulled down. It almost looks like you took a sharp edge tool and went flatten and took it straight down and then just laid a bunker on top of it. That'll give you that edge. Or you did some really up close sculpting right here with a flatten tool. But to avoid that scalloped edge, you have to give just a little bit more on that. Let it flow down at a little bit more of an angle. Instead of that like 15-degree angle you have going, let it come down about a 20-degree angle, and then have your sculpt right there, and that'll get rid of that crimp. So this is minus 42 yards. So with driver, you're encouraging me to hit in that ditch. Man, with 7-mile-an-hour wind, my landing spot's right here. Okay, I'm a sucker. I'm only taking this on because of the damn wind in my face. Otherwise, I wouldn't mess with this at all. Still think I should be hitting 3-wood off the tee. Well, to be honest, Rhino, I don't do these to tear people up. I honestly don't. I was probably harsh, or Pablo's critique was probably the harshest one I've ever given on one of these streams. I try to just look at very specific things and give you good, valuable feedback. It does nothing at all to rip you apart. And if it was just dreadful, I would let you know it was dreadful, but give you ways to fix it and be nice about it. I see no purpose in making somebody feel bad about their course. Ooh, 11-mile wind in my face. Holy crap. 98, but... And the wind shifted on me at the last second. I love it. Damn. So a shot that I was dead on actually got changed because the wind went from being right back at my face to... I think once you start your backswing, the wind should be locked in. the first hole I really noticed some of your shaping got away from you a little bit. And I could be wrong, but this is like one of those holes that looks like you just got to a point that you didn't know what else to do with it and just left it. Um, I wouldn't try to do what you did here with that little inlet jutting in. Bring your curve around and just give yourself a nice curve around that entire area and just let that be rough. You know, don't worry about having to make fairway match everything. I mean, if you ever look at a real golf course, you don't see that. And it would just look better done the other way. But it also would have been looked better if your fairway had kind of came over here a little bit and fed into it, feed it this way. Start your curve here, move it back in, bring it back out here, round it off, right into another curve right here. And then you got like your last area. And then from here, you can like give this a little bit more movement and back out. This little fairway here just doesn't have any character, especially based on what you've done on your other fairways. You know, if you've had some movement and nice shapes on, this one just falls flat. Kind of the same thing up here. It just doesn't have a good flow to it. And it just like ends down here like a big giant penis. I don't mind. Yeah, that's what I was talking about in my first comment, Mitch. Is that the green area? It needs some dressing up. It just looks like it's just kind of sitting there, so it needs something to give it some character. I don't know what it is, but damn nation, another small little green. But when I started to this is, in my opinion, the major one off hole into the hills. Sorry. This one looks like you struggled with it a little bit. Like you had some indecision going on, or you just reached a point that you had messed with it so much that you were like, piss on it. It loses some of the character that you've carried through your other holes. Now, I will say this. I don't mind a blind tee shot, here and there. No problem with this at all. I do think the look of this would have been better had you had an elevated tee box on this, just because you would have been looking at something like that, which would have been cool. But the TST guys would hate this hole. Good Lord. 449-yard hole that... Well, I'm probably going to hit that bunker, but let's do it anyway. I'm not taking this on with 3-wood. Get myself another damn 3-wood into the green. Wind in my face helped me on that one. Good night, Sally. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't count on backstops working because I've actually had balls that will roll right up that hill and stay stuck up there. So At least I got a nice putt out of it. A little bit larger green, definitely on that one. And yeah, that's why I was saying before. It looked like you were struggling with that one. Like you either had something in your mind that didn't work, or it just didn't feel like it jived with you. So that was pretty obvious. No big deal. Oh no 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 no! You're really gonna leave me with that pin on a 200-yard shot? Holy crap, man! You guys overestimate how much elevation actually takes off. You're killing me, Smooth. You're killing me. Holy crap! Now I'm having to do math. So it's realistically about 15 yards shy. So I'm playing 198. But then oh man, there's no way I'm getting this close. There's no way to get this damn ball close. No, wind didn't take it as far to the left as I thought it was going to. I mean, that was about the shot, but even then, if I hit like right up in here, which is where I was aiming, hoping it'd bounce, I mean, that might help out back there, but goodness, goodness. See how bad I can mess this one up. 13, so it's playing at 14 yards. We'll go there. Yeah, I'm about to use some back slope right here. Check this out. Well, I don't know if you know this. I'm just going to say it for others in the stream that might not. There is no certain percentage of firmness. There is soft, medium, and firm. There is no difference between maxed out firmness and 130 on that dial. Once you get it into firm, it's firm. So you can't move that dial any at all. If you want medium firmness, leave it on straight up noon. If you want it soft, turn it all the way down. If you want firm, just get it past 130 on that dial, and it's as firm as it's going to get. So there is no, Ren just brought it up right there. Same way on your fairway firmness. Exact same thing. Man, it looks like there's break that's not showing in beads. Eh. Oh, if it was firm, dude, I'd be running your ass off here right now. I would be going nuts on you on firm. I'm not gonna lie. Those greens cannot handle firm settings. No way. No way. I would be firm settings. That would automatically be a well. Thanks for the entry, but that is a first time design fail. Okay, do you have like secret tricks on this one or not? Are you trying to get me to go over there and land in that little bitty bowl of something? I think that's where you're wanting me to. God, and of course I got a 12-mile-an-hour side wind to it. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Well, that shaves quite a little bit off of that hole. Of course, you have to ask yourself if you actually want to go for 2 on this green, because if you actually go for the pin on this, you're screwed. Um, hmm. Wow. Goodness, I didn't think it was going to take that big of a bounce. I didn't realize you had firm fairways. I hadn't even paid attention to it, to be honest. Okay, and the closing hole is a 320 yarder. That's an interesting choice. The one rule of thumb that for a contest course anyway is that you usually want to have a really good opening hole and a really good finishing hole. Something to get people's attention off the first tee and something that leaves them walking away going, that was really cool on the last one. Okay, it looks like an upside down bunt cake pan or some shit right there. Goodness gracious, what am I doing her? Oh no, that's just made to go in the water right there. I don't know if I can get that there minus a 20-mile-an-hour wind. Oh, so that's effective play into 73. Shouldn't get that much backspin off of that kind of elevation. Bounce twice and stop. Or do that. Go on, roll down the hill. Roll down the hill. How in the hell did my ball stop right there? Good Lord. Yeah, see, this side's not as bad, but this side over here, that's where I was talking about that 3 grid box back, and you got to putt up that. Man, you can have people show up your house wanting to beat your ass. I don't know what I'm saying about that. Ah, no, it's fine. So, all in all, that is admittedly his. Holy crap! Among my friends, I'm number one. Woo! I beat Pablo. Hell, I even made the big leaderboard. I beat Scampy. I beat Scoob. That's actually pretty impressive. He got a +2. He must have been playing some really high winds. Yeah, that dude's pretty good. But, but yeah, I'd say for a first-time course, man, that's pretty legit. Think you did yourself proud on it. Obviously, there's some rough things around it. There's some things we point out, a little bit of contouring here and there. Green size for sure. And I think some of it's just going to be comfort. I think one of the things that stood out to me that it was probably, definitely a first time design course that you didn't really get in there and get your hands dirty with the planning. Your planning is very, very conservative. And there's nothing wrong with that, believe me. I'm very minimalist when it comes to planning on my courses as well. I don't do a lot of flower beds and stuff like that, but there's little things you can use here and there just to kind of dress it up, whether it be grass on the top of your bunkers, just some things to catch your eye here and there, just to break up the monotony of the green and the palms, because the total amount of palm trees, that look the same actually did kind of hurt the course just a little bit. But all in all, with what you had, man, I'd be perfectly fine with it. I think you've got a very nice course here. Tour wise, I don't know that it would play necessarily well on tour. That has no bearing on what it does in the contest. I want to make that point right now. That how it does in the contest has nothing to do with it being on tour. Even if you win, there's some things that probably need to be cleaned up a little bit, just to make it fair for CC or Web anyway. Now PGA, those guys can use whatever they want to, but for Web or CC, greens are a little bit too small and such to really make it play there. But I have no idea what to do with planting. Just honestly, stare at the screen thinking, if I do now, 100% my weakness, no doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, Smooth, and something that, since you've been the designer now, you're going to know what you're looking for. Go in and play some other courses and look and see what they've done with their planning, because you can now tell what's auto-genned and what people have taken the time to work on. Some good tropical courses to go look at. Pilakilla is a good course to go look at tropical planting. Kahiko Beach is one of Andre's. It's a good one to go check out and look at the planning. Another really good tropical course is the Reserve at Kapalua, or Kapalua Reserve. It's one or the other that he named it. We used it last year on the Vietnam Open for CC. That's a phenomenal course to go check out and just see some of the tricks he pulled off with planting. And all he was doing is using trees and bushes and some grass. He didn't go big into flowers or anything. It's a very natural looking course. But there's nothing wrong with going and looking and seeing how other designers do some of their planting. I've got a tropical course. Castaway Bay was mine, but I did not do a lot of planting at all on it. And what I did was, like I said, it was just trying to break up the sight line. Now, I used a lot of different trees. I did a lot of tree planting and a lot of grass planting on that course. I did not do a lot of flowers. But where I did, it was just to give a little bit of color here or to drag your eye from one area to another. So if you want to look at a course that doesn't really use a lot of planting at all, then go check out Castaway Bay or the TPC at Castaway Bay. That being said, it's got some rough edges because that was my first published course as well. So, and you can see some of the things that I was even telling you about on that course. So it just takes time to get familiar with it and everything else. So, yep, that was my first publish. Anyway, well, guys, I'm going to end up taking a little bit of a break here. It's 5 o'clock, it's a little bit of supper time. I don't know if I'll be back to do more tonight or not. If I don't, then I will be back on again tomorrow afternoon, do at least a couple more, because I try to go pretty in depth. I know they take about an hour and a half a piece to get through, but I try to go for and or go through and point certain things out. So but yeah, I mean, you should be happy with your course and everything else. And like I said, you guys don't take anything I say personal. There are things that if I view as technical issues, then I will say, look, this is something that actually is a technical issue. His greens on this, the size of them, in many cases are actually a technical issue. The other things that I point out are just straight up, aesthetics, things from my eyes or things I might do different to give it a little bit different look. Have you signed up for the HB Design Tourney? Are you asking me that, Ren? Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. I actually am in on that tourney, the one where it's a tournament, a design contest, basically, where it's going to be teams of designers. So there's like Taste and Taste, Han, Reebdug, um, I think Scarpacci or Scampy, one or the other, signed up for it. I signed up for it. There's a couple others that are in around there, but the idea is that we'll break up into teams of 3 or 4 people, and we have to put together a course. And that can be quite interesting, let me tell you. I'm doing some collaborations right now with Erickson Stone and Imrula. And it's a little bit different when you start, trying to make your style fit somebody else's style and make it blend. But when you get some people into their headstrong, like Taste and Reebdug and myself, yep, I'm sorry, Ren. I'm still learning your name, brother. So I'm still learning your name. But, you have some people that are very, very set in their ways on how they do things and certain looks that they're going to want. And, I mean, there has to be compromise all the way around. So it'll be interesting. That'll be the toughest thing about that one. But, but other than that, gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. And I will give a heads up in the shout box if I decide to do any more tonight. More than likely what's going to happen is that I'm going to eat dinner, say nice things to my wife, and then, go ahead and you can say your final note while I'm signing off. But and then play Titanfall 2 for a little while tonight. I might stream it. Depends on if Andre or Dan play or what kind of mood I'm in. But other than that, okay, I'm waiting on your final note. I'm waiting for your final note, Smoothie. Come on. He'll actually end up watching this, man, so he'll see it. His course wasn't bad. It had some things. I'm probably a little bit harder on Pablo because I know Pablo quite well. And I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound bad. I am not a big fan of telling people, people put course threads up and everything else. And I think that every designer needs or deserves a pat on the back for their effort when they put it in. So I don't want to make people feel bad and tear them apart on their course because I think that's counterproductive. And if you are going to say somebody's course isn't good, then you better damn well know how to fix it. Giving them no feedback on different things to do doesn't work. Outside of that, if I'm going to do a feedback like this, or if I'm even giving constructive notes in a course thread, I don't believe in not being fair about what I'm saying either. If all they hear is good stuff, if there are problems with the course and all they're getting are pats on the back, then they don't know to do anything different. Then they just keep saying things over and over and over and over again, or doing the same courses over and over again, and they're still putting out not top quality courses. So I usually don't do it in course threads because I don't believe in trying to show people up, but I will PM them and say, hey, just played through it. Here's some screenshots of what I'm talking about. Take a look at this, see what you think. And then that usually turns into a conversation of like, oh, thanks for the help and, this and that. I really do try not to come off as a douchebag. I'm not that way. Like I said, I don't want you guys to feel bad about what you put out or anything else. I am trying to be constructive in what I'm giving. But the same for me, that I've been lucky that people have liked my courses, but to be honest, I looked more for the, well, you need to do this different than I did. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Oh, wow, that's awesome didn't help me a bit. Well, I would look at this and change this and do this different. That helps me more than anything because for the most part, I'm self-taught. When I started designing courses, I didn't have a lot of videos and stuff to look at, and all that. So like Castaway Bay and Kakalaki, those were well before I had any knowledge of a lot of what the other designers were doing. Those were just things I learned to do on my own. So now that I've gotten to see a lot of Taste and watch Canucks videos and things other people do, and I've been able to say, okay, well, this is how I do it, and this is how they do it, and I can incorporate that a little bit into my styles. So that's why whenever I post a video or something like that, I'll tell people straight up, this is not the only way to do it. This is how I do it. And if you have no clue of what you're doing on those things, it's at least a starting point. And then once you use something like that over time, you begin to get a feel for it and you develop your own method. So Oh no, you're fine, man. I didn't take it as you being serious and everything. When I first read it, keep in mind, I'm like, uh-oh, I just got Pablo. Um, one second, let me read it off my PS4 app. He just sent me a response to his review. I don't think he's happy with me. Pablo says, "Hi Chris, just saw your review of my course. Despite I don't agree with everything you said, I love breaking the aesthetics from time to time. That's why I made the different bunker, but I also get why you did not like it, and you're right about it. All of your comments are really useful, and we'll listen to them again carefully. Thanks a lot, brother." That's from Pablo. Um, oh shit, now I feel bad because I actually did like the course. Now I feel bad because that's said I actually did like the course. 18th bugs the shit out of me, but I do like the course. uh, yeah, the tree incident, but his response to me right there was awesome. But I no, if Pablo, if you just happen to tune in, you're watching this, or if you hadn't gotten my text yet, man, I actually really do like your course. I thought it played great. I think there were some things that could have been a little bit cleaner, on it, but that's just my opinion. We'll see what the other judges have to say about it and if they agree or not. So, other than that, it is what it is. Um, but okay, guys, thanks for tuning in and everything else. And I'll get these archived and I'll try to get them uploaded to your actual course threads for you to have there so you can like watch them in entirety. I mean, personally, you were here watching it live, so I don't know why you'd want to watch it again. I wouldn't, but all in all, man, it was pretty nice course, and I look forward to playing some of the others. So you guys take it easy and catch you on the flip side.